Hey, everybody, welcome back to Big Blue Confidential. I am Scott Fryer, Scottso. And listen, we got a lot to talk about today, so we're going to get right at it. Episode number 3, entitled, I Hate Kickers. I hate kickers. I hate kickers with a passion. Specifically, one for the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to get into that, but we got to get into the 40-37 loss the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday afternoon. A gutting loss, which seems to be happening more and more often with the New York Football Giants over the last few years. I mean, listen. First, let me just say this: there is not one of you out there who is watching this show. Not one. There isn't one. I promise you. That thought, hey, maybe the Giants will be 1-1 headed into week 3. Maybe they'll be 2-0. Right? Everybody knew that we were going to be 0-2. So that's why I don't get all of this fire Dable stuff, which we're going to get into with the fans losing their friggin' minds over this, because they are who we thought they were, right? Again, I say that, the Denny Green quote, they are who we thought they were. They're 0-2. And in the preseason show, I said, episode 1, I said, we want the New York Football Giants to compete on a weekly basis. And that's what they did on Sunday. Is absolutely a game they should have won. Absolutely. I'm not making excuses at all. I'm not making excuses. They should have won that football game. However, they're competing. Everybody knew they were going to be 0-2 heading into the home opener. Every single person that roots for the New York Giants knew they were going to be 0-2 headed into the home opener on Sunday. So why are we standing here with the same old rhetoric, the same old trash that we're blaming it on Dable? Fire this guy, fire that guy, bench this guy, bench that guy, week after week, year after year. And I get it. We're tired of losing. That's what happens when your team is continually losing. I get it. But we have the hardest schedule in the NFL. Okay. We played the Washington Commanders week 1, who went to the NFC Championship last year. We played the Dallas Cowboys, who we haven't beaten in forever. Okay. Since COVID. Okay. We haven't beat them. Okay. But we competed. We had the hardest schedule in the league. And then you're going to sit out here and you're going to be like, wow, we should have won that game. And we got to fire Dable now. We got to fire. He's terrible. It's coaching. No, you have to learn. Have any of you ever coached anything in your lives? Have any of you ever coached anything meaningful in your lives? Have you ever built a program from the ground up? And I can tell you right now, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 of you that are listening or who would listen that I know, the answer is absolutely you have not. You have not. Okay? I'm going to do a little parallel for you here. My first year coaching the team that I coach now, the high school lacrosse team I coach now, my first year brought us to the state playoffs for the first time in forever. Went 14-2 on the season. I was coach of the year. The New York Football Giants, Brian Dable's first year, took them to the playoffs for the first time in forever. He was coach of the year. Right now, I'm in rebuild mode. Last year, we were 4-12 after going 14-2. Was anybody calling to fire me? No, they're not calling to fire me because they know what I'm doing. They know that I'm building something here with this team. Brian Dable is building something. Have they made mistakes? Absolutely. Are they completely default of blame? Absolutely not. Him and Joe Shane take the blame for what's been going on. Okay? And I'm tired of hearing about Saquon. Move on, please. He's not here anymore. Shut up about Saquon, about Giants letting him go, because I said it before. Saquon was never staying in New York, no matter what. He wasn't taking any amount of money to stay in New York. He wanted to go somewhere where he was going to have a chance to win the Super Bowl. And that place was not the Meadowlands. That place is not New York. It's Philadelphia, and that's where he went. He took the money, and not one person can blame him. Because when you say that, when you say, oh, well, you lost Saquon, and now Daniel Jones is doing good, well, you're an idiot because you sound really stupid. Okay, you want to hate on the Giants. Right. That's fine. You want to hate, you want to be a Giants hater and you want to say something dumb. You want to be Skip Bayless or Nick Wright. You want to say dumb things that you really don't believe, then go ahead. But you just sound dumb. That's what you do, because you sound like you don't know what you're talking about. Because if you're saying that we should fire Dable after week 2, after we just took Dallas to overtime and scored 37 points, you're a moron. You're an idiot because you don't know what you're talking about. This team is primed to win eventually. It's not going to be now. It's not going to be Sunday, most likely. It may not even be till like week 5 or 6, but they're going to win football games. Okay? It's every single year when you lose and you lose, you're basically turning over your roster with the exception of a few guys, and you're bringing in new people. That's what they did. We're the youngest team in the NFL. We have a rookie quarterback who's in the wings. We have a veteran quarterback, by the way, who threw for 460 yards on Sunday, but people want him benched still. Those people are morons too. So you want to sit here and make excuses, and you want to just be a miserable person and a miserable Giant fan, or you just want to be a hater, go ahead, because you sound dumb. You sound dumb. And this is not even what I wanted to talk about. I just went off on a rant because I'm just tired of hearing it. Every single fan page that I see on social media is just a bunch of morons wanting to fire this guy and fire that guy. And this is the worst team in football. No, they're not the worst team in football. You know what the worst team in football is? The worst team in football is the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins. Okay. Look at the power rankings. The Giants aren't the worst team in football. Are they a top 5 football team? Absolutely not. I'm not stupid. They're not even in the top 50% of the league. Okay. They're 25, probably 24, but they're not the worst team in the league. They can play. They got to put it together. They got to learn how to win games. Okay. That's a game they absolutely should have won Sunday, but they didn't, because Dallas has a field goal kicker that can kick it from a goddamn mile and a half away. That's why we lost that football game. Should we have won it in regulation? Sure. But hey, guess what? Dallas has good players too. They have 2 of the best wide receivers in the league, and Perkins and Lamb. There's hardly any team out there that's going to cover those 2. They're going to get their yards, especially CeeDee Lamb. Okay, Dak Prescott, pretty good quarterback. Last time I checked. No, their defense is terrible. That's why we scored 37 points, but it's baby steps, folks. We're not going to the Super Bowl this year. How about that? Wake up. We're not going to the Super Bowl. Okay? So Giant fans, get off your high horse. See what this team really is. Support the team. I know it's frustrating to lose, but we're going to get there. We're going to win games. It's going to happen. You have to stick with it. You can't just keep changing coaches every 2 years because you aren't winning the Super Bowl. Okay? Did they make mistakes? Yes. This is a brand new head coach. This was a brand new general manager. And check the freaking draft board, people. The last 2 drafts, Joe Shane has done pretty goddamn well. I'm just spitting facts here. I'm not making opinions. This is all facts. You can go look it up yourself. Google's a great thing, by the way. So don't sit here and say this guy sucks and that guy sucks and he should be fired. Yeah, if we lose, we win 0 games this year, or we win 1 game this year, okay. Because we should win, with our schedule, we should win 5 games. 5 games, 6 games, 7 games is a stretch, but I'm saying 5 games is a real possibility. And you can't fire the guy because his team is competing. Okay, week 1 against Washington, throw it out the window, because nobody looked good except Buffalo and Baltimore that week, and Green Bay. Those are the 3 best teams in football. Shut up, Philly. Okay, you're not the best team. You barely beat the Chiefs, who are not good. You barely beat Dallas, who's definitely not. We scored 37 points against Dallas. You can only score 24. Okay, so shut up, Philly. You're not better than Buffalo. You're not better than Green Bay right now, and you're definitely not better than the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so just cool it with the rhetoric, man. Enjoy football. Stop being so miserable. There's enough garbage going on in this country, in this world right now, that's way more important than being angry and spitting hot fire because a guy is 0-2 when you're supposed to be 0-2. I don't know what else you want him to do. You're supposed to be 0-2. He goes 0-2. Okay, you wanted a quarterback in here. They brought Russ in. Russ threw for 460 yards. Still not good enough. You wanted to get younger. We got younger. You wanted guys who can make plays. We got guys that can make plays. We had two receivers with 150 plus yards receiving last week. The running game needs help. I get it. But you got a dynamic running back in Cam Scatterbo who's every time he touches the football, the hair on my arm stands on end. What do you want? What more do you want? You want to win games. I get it. But we're not going to do that until we get all the positions filled. And it takes time. You can't just do it in one draft. You can't just do it in free agency. Because guess what? Other teams are out there. They need players too. Okay? And I said it again in week 1. Tommy DeVito screwed this team for 3 years. And we're in year 3 of that. Year 2 of that. I'm sorry. Year 2. I'm hoping that Jackson Dart is the equalizer and he takes a year away from that. That's what we're all hoping. But that's the reality of it. Okay. The Giants going 12-4 or 11-5 in 2023 when Dable won Coach of the Year. That was the worst thing that could have happened to the New York Football Giants because that set us back. That raised everybody's expectations about why the New York Football Giants should win the Super Bowl every single year. Okay. Because I guarantee you, 3/4 of you people weren't around when Joe Pisarcek was our quarterback, when Scott Brunner was our quarterback, when Phil Simms was a rookie. Okay. When we drafted LT in the early 80s, when we had Ray Perkins, who was a pretty good coach in his own right? When we had Ara Parsagian. You guys weren't around then. You don't know what it's like to be a terrible team. Trust me. Okay, maybe you were around in the early 90s after we lost Bill when we had Ray Hanley. That was a bad football team. Even though we had arguably the greatest football player of all time in Lawrence Taylor on that team. Ray Hanley made Lawrence Taylor retire. That's how bad the Giants were. So stop. If you weren't around to see that, saying this is the worst Giant team of all time, stop saying that. Because it's not. It's far from that. Is it one of the worst teams? This year's version, still undecided. But the last couple of years, absolutely. Are we better than we were when we had Joe Judge? Absolutely. So just stop with the rhetoric, man. Be a football fan, okay? Be a smart football fan. Listen to what you're saying, right? Taste the words before you say them. Because when you start talking out of your mouth and you're not paying attention to what you're saying, you sound dumb. And 90% of our fan base sounds really freaking dumb. And that's why I'm here, folks. I'm here to call you out. I'm here to call you out. I'm here to call everybody out that has way higher expectations than they absolutely should. And most of you have that. Anyway, end rant. I'm off my soapbox. I'm just tired of it, guys. I just am. We just can't go and enjoy a football Sunday because everyone wants to win right now. I get it. But I will tell you right now, that was probably the best Giant game. That was probably the most happy I've been after a loss in a long time. I was still angry. I was still upset. But I felt good about it because we did a lot of things really, really well, guys. A lot of things. Okay? The things everybody said, we got to have this, we got to have that, you got to do this. Well, we got it, and then it happened on Sunday. But you're still mad about it. So let's get into it. Okay, we lost 40-37 in overtime. 9 consecutive losses to the Cowboys. That hurts. I hate it. And we're the same with the Eagles. 14 straight for Dak. I don't think Dak's ever lost to the Giants, by the way. Since his rookie season, he's never lost to the Giants. 14 straight. That's wild. Our last win versus Dallas, January 3rd, 2021. They won like 23-18 or 23-17, something like that. Okay, at home. That was the last time we beat the Cowboys. And I think they had some scrub at quarterback who was a Giants backup. I can't remember the guy's name. He ended up going to the Cowboys. I remember they beat us, and his wife was, I don't know, that might even be the case. It might be a different guy. I just remember his wife was like running her mouth on TikTok or whatever one of those stupid platforms was because he beat the Giants the first week they played him. Like, hello. I mean, New London High School could probably beat the Giants back then. All right. Let's talk about the game, the actual game. First, let's get into more things that really grind my gears, as Peter Griffin would say. James Hudson. If that dude should never see an NFL football field, at least not wearing the colors of my football team. You pay that guy $10 million for 2 years to do that? 4 penalties and 6 plays? It's pathetic. And I honestly feel like at 5'10", 220 pounds, that I could have played a better left tackle on that opening drive than James Hudson. Because I'm telling you right now, if I'm Brian Dable, James Hudson doesn't even get on the plane to come back to New York. Here's a bus ticket, buddy. You owe me money for that, by the way. You are no longer part of this team, right? Guys make mistakes. I get it. But, bro, 4 penalties on that drive. We were controlling the clock. I think we had the ball for almost 8 minutes on the opening drive, and we settled for a friggin' field goal again because we can't stop with the stupid penalties. Taking a swing at a guy, hitting him in the head, or pushing his head into the ground. I get it. The guy had a hold of his face mask or his neck or whatever. I get it. But if you've been watching sports for more than 5 minutes, you know that the referee never sees the initial play. The referee only sees the retaliation. You got to be smarter than that. You got to be disciplined. That's what this team is missing right now. And is that on Brian Dable? Absolutely. I'm not excusing that. That's terrible. I mean, 14 penalties for 160 yards. That is ridiculous. I mean, we had more penalty yards on Sunday than Jalen Hurts had passing yards on Sunday. Hey, like them apples. That is ridiculous. That's inexcusable. But James Hudson, he shouldn't see the field again this season. But to eat that $10 million, burn it. Because that's what you did signing this clown. Guy's terrible. Terrible. It's like he didn't know what he was doing. Then he wants to be mad. Then he wants to be pissed off on the sidelines like it was somebody else's fault. Bro, you're a clown. You're terrible. Go home. Get away. They put Marcus Sembo, the rookie from Purdue, 5th rounder. Put him in the game. Guy was money. Okay, and let's talk about Andrew Thomas for a minute. Okay, if you've been following me, you follow the page on socials. You know how I feel about Andrew Thomas. Guy is no doubt in my mind the best left tackle in the league. Best one in the league when he's healthy. But guess what? Ever since my guy got paid a couple years ago, he's been trash. He hasn't want to play. Doesn't play. He played. I think he would have got hurt week 6 last year. It's been a year, bro. Come back. If you're hurt, go on the physically able to perform. Go on the pup list, bro. Go on the long-term injury reserve because you're killing us right now with this. You practice all week or you're limited in practice, and then the injury report comes out an hour before the game starts and you're inactive. You're in street clothes on the sidelines. Stop it. Stop being soft, bro. 50% of Andrew Thomas is 100% better than James Hudson. Get on the field, Andrew Thomas. But guess what? You got a guy who's going to take your spot now because Marcus Sembo can play. Marcus Sembo can block. Because after they took Hudson out of the game, the offensive line did a pretty damn good job. Yeah, we gave up 3 sacks. One of those, Russ ran right into it. Okay, but Dallas has a couple of good guys on the line, even though they don't have Parsons. I get it. That was 5 quarters of football. I think we've given up 5 sacks in 2 games, which is not terrible. Better than last year. You don't have quarterbacks with PTSD in the backfield. Okay? So Andrew Thomas, you need to get off. What do they say? Excuse my French. You should or get off the pot, bro. Either you're healthy or you're not. Stop playing with my emotions. You're a damn good offensive lineman. You need to be on the field. This team needs you on the field. You're a captain, dude. If I'm not mistaken, if you could fact check that for me, Mr. Landry. Is Andrew Thomas a captain of the New York Giants? I'm pretty sure that's fact. You're a captain of the football team, and you're milking this injury for everything. I know it's a foot injury, and you're a lineman, but if you're that hurt, dude, go on the injured list. And I know it's management that makes that decision, but you know how hurt you are. If you want to play, dude, say you can play. Say, I'm playing. Those are the guys you want on your team. Those are the guys they want to get in the trenches, literally in the trenches with you and battle it out. Those are the guys you want on your team. Andrew Thomas, not that guy. So far this year, not that guy. I need to see something from that dude because he's killing me right now. New York Giants captains this year. Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence. Okay. As heading into week 1, 5 captains, a team of who else? I can't see who else is there. Let me look. Slay, Bobby O, Russ, Dex, and Burns. Okay, he's not a captain. Maybe there's a good reason for that. But right now, he's not leading this team at all. You're the best player on the offensive line. You need to start proving it. You got paid, and then you've been soft. So let's go. Talked about the penalties. 4 penalties and 6 plays for Hudson. Inexcusable. Joke. Replaced him with Limbo. That was money the rest of the day. Passing defense. Better. Not great. 343 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they did get a pick. Our first pick of the season was good. It was a great catch. First turnover. And once again, we didn't lose the turnover battle. That's 2 games in a row. So there's another positive. You can put a blue check mark next to that one, folks. Okay, it was even again. Last week or against Washington, we were no turnovers, and we didn't have any takeaways. This week, we had a takeaway and a turnover. Ours came at a really bad time. Okay. So that's a positive. But the pass defense has got to get a little better. I know that they have really good receivers. Probably the best, two of the best in the league as a tandem. Maybe Cincinnati is better. Maybe the Colts. I mean, not the Colts, the Rams have good. I can't see anybody. I mean, obviously, CDs are great, but as a tandem, they're fantastic. I mean, Justin Jefferson, hands down the best receiver in the league. You got Leek, who is top 5. Right, but they got 2 great receivers in Dallas, and it's tough. It's tough, but we held our own for the most part. The guys are going to get their catches. Okay, let me see. I can tell you what they had right here. Oh man, I thought I wrote it down. I guess not. Anywho, pass defense was not terrible. Run defense better. Dallas had 3 running backs. They ran for 135 yards, including Russ. I made it 4 running backs, including that 17-yard backbreaker in overtime for Dak. So it wasn't too bad. Said O-line is much better. Hasn't given up, but 3 sacks in 5 quarters on Sunday, and then 2 sacks. 2 sacks against the Redskins. Pass rush, 3 sacks against Dak. That was good. They looked good. Bobby O was in the backfield continuously. And listen, let's talk about this for a second. And I don't care what team we root for. And it ain't why we lost. And I'm not blaming the refs. This isn't whoever the Chiefs are playing whining about the Chiefs getting all the calls, because Dallas got some really funky bad calls on them too. But dude, how many times was Abdul Carter going to be held on a pass rush and not get called? If you watch the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I had people who are texting me who are notorious Giants haters, friends of mine. They were like, dude, why are they not throwing a flag? Carter's getting held almost every single play. And I get it. There's holding on almost every play in the NFL. I understand that. This isn't my first year watching football. Okay. But it was blatant. Like one play, I think Dak threw a 20-yard completion. The guy was pulling Carter's arm in front of the referee in the backfield. He was about to grab onto Dak's jersey, and this dude, the offensive lineman, was pulling on his arm. No flag. Again, not while we lost. I'm not whining about the officials, but God, throw a flag on them occasionally. I mean, I think they had 120 yards in penalties too, but I could be wrong. You can pull that up, maybe the stats, see how that. They had a lot of penalties on them too. Not as many. The most egregious one on them was I think the Giants had 3 flags on one play, which was ridiculous. I think it was like a roughing the passer call, which was ridiculous. I mean, I think it was Dexter that kind of ran into him. Might have been Bobby Okereke, in fact, just like pushed into him, and his finger grazed his face mask, and they threw a flag on that. It was hands to the face, pass interference, and then CeeDee Lamb on the ground doing finger guns, taunting Deontay Banks. Threw a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct, and they wiped out all the penalties. That was probably the most egregious flag of the day on either team. That was ridiculous. And if I was a Cowboy fan, I would have been heated about that one because that was pass interference in the end zone. That was first and goal from the one. And I think you might have ended up with a field goal. And I don't know. Maybe you scored a touchdown. I don't know. Either way, it took you a few more plays to score than it should have. But the officiating is just all across the league, across all sports. Officiating is terrible, and the officials want to whine and cry about people who are mean to them. Well, do your job, dude. Stop sucking. Suck less, as a good friend of mine would say. Another coaching buddy. Suck less. Stop whining. Lots of good things to take away from this. Okay, we talked about all the bad things. I'm off my. I took my blood pressure meds before I came here, right? Good things that happened. Okay, obviously we got to start with Russ. Okay, Russ was an absolute monster. 460 yards, 30 for 41. And listen, if you watch that game, that man can still drop the ball in a bucket from 50, 60 yards downfield. That touchdown pass that he threw to give us the lead for about 20 seconds at the end of the game, and right at the end of the fourth quarter, to put us ahead, what should have been the winning score. That was a fantastic ball. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Russ can still get it done. 460 yards, man. Leek Neighbors. Leek was balling, dude. I mean, 9 catches for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, if you had Malik Neighbors on your fantasy football team last week, congratulations on the win. Because even Wan'Dale Robinson went off. I mean, Wan'Dale. What did Wan'Dale have? Wan'Dale eight catches for 142 yards and a touch. He cooked his defensive back. I mean, and then listen, Malik Neighbors was absolutely torching Trayvon Diggs all day on Sunday afternoon. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is going to see Malik Neighbors in his nightmare. Had to on Sunday night. I mean, I know they won the game, but bro, he was getting absolutely smoked by Malik Neighbors. I mean, there it is right there. 167 yards for Malik Neighbors. 9 receptions, 2 touchdowns. CD had 112 yards. So Giants did an okay job. I mean, it is what it is. We lost. We got a lot of good things. Cam Scatterbo got his first touchdown, had a really nice run. Okay, last week he won the Angry Run Award that the NFL Network gives away. I love that. They give him a little scepter for the Angry Run. So they actually hand delivered in a box. Very cool. They have to have a T-shirt of that. I need it. The Angry Run. The guy runs angry. I mean, he's a living, breathing candidate for CTE. I'm telling you right now, because that guy does not know how to not initiate contact. He wants contact, and I love it. I mean, listen, let's get the most out of him because the kid's a baller and he wants to win. He wants to play. He's got the right attitude. Okay, the young kids that the New York Giants have right now are the guys you want on the team. That's another reason why you haters should shut up, because we have the right players in place. It's not going to be sunshine, gumdrops, and unicorn farts all the time like it was in preseason. Okay, there's going to be peaks and valleys, folks. But I get it's only once a week, so, that one day a week where the New York Giants rip our hearts out. At least we didn't get blown out, guys. Okay? But Cam Scatterbo he's got to be the feature back. 11 carries, 35 yards, and that one touchdown. He got to the 1 yard line, but he should have scored on that. He just ran up the middle, ran up the gut. The kid does not know how to run east-west. He runs north-south. And I love it. Tyrone Tracy Jr., he had a few touches. I think he only had like 17 yards or whatever. It's got to be better, man. 15 yards. I think 5 carries, 15 yards. Terrible. Russ had 3 carries, 23 yards. Cam, 11 for 45 and a touch. With that one, what I'm talking about was a 24-yard run up the middle. Got brought down at the 1, and then they did the right thing. They handed the ball to him, and he punched it in from the 1, untouched. And it was very satisfying. Very satisfying to see him do it. The first of what I hope is many touchdowns for that young man. And we also got to see Jackson Dart come in the game. That he had 3 plays. He did not throw the ball, I believe. I think he did run the ball. He got dragged down in the backfield, but he handed it off. That was what he wanted to do. He got out there. Expect to see more of that. I feel like this Sunday against Kansas City, you're going to see a little more of that, which I hope, because I'm going to be there. I'd like to see that young man take the field. Red zone play. Okay, enough. We'll go back to some more problems with this team. Red zone play. 7 trips to the red zone so far in 2025. 29 plays in the red zone. 18 points. 12 of those are off a field goal. They're off field goals. 12 of those points are off field goals. 46.2% in the red zone so far this year on scoring. 23rd in the league. Not the worst. Certainly not the best. And a 14.9% touchdown ratio or touchdown percentage in the red zone this year for the Giants. It's terrible. That's bad. We're not the worst team in the league. That distinguished honor goes to the Las Vegas Raiders because they are not the Las Vegas Raiders. If I offended you, any of you Raiders fan, I apologize. It's the Houston Texans who are actually the worst team in the league in the red zone. They have not scored a touchdown in the red zone yet. So we are not the worst team by default. But if they did score, we would be the worst. So that's listen. You gotta put the ball in the red zone. The play calling in the red zone was better last week. We just didn't execute. Play calling week before, I said it last week, atrocious. That's on the coaches. But here, listen, this is a stat. Here's a stat. The stat of the week. And I found this out yesterday. My jaw hit the floor. And it's typical because I remember each one of these too. Vividly remember these plays. Okay. 7 field goals in NFL history. You guys can look it up if you want to fact check me. 7 field goals in NFL history that are 60 plus yards to either tie or win the game. There's been 7 of them in the history of the NFL. 4 of them have been against the Giants. 4 of the 7 have been against my New York Football Giants. Since 2021, this has happened. You want to talk about snake bit, and I will die on this hill. All of this that we're getting thrown at us right now, because I believe in a higher power, and I believe that adversity makes you stronger, and eventually we'll get there. But everything we're going through right now is because we sold our friggin' souls to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl twice. Especially in 2007, 2008, when 18-1, one giant loss. That we're going through it right now because of that. And you know what? If you'd have told me before the Super Bowl, hey, you're going to win the Super Bowl, but in the 2020s, your team is going to be ass, I'd be like, all right, I'm good with it. Sign me up. Where do I sign? I'll take it. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So if that's the case, it was completely worth it. But 7 field goals over 60 yards to tie or win a football game in NFL history. 4 of them have been against the New York Giants. 1 against Carolina, 1 against the Eagles, 1 against the Minnesota Vikings, and then Sunday, 64 yards. Brandon Aubrey from a half a mile from Arlington. Kid boots a field goal. Listen, I knew when they were lining up for that kick, I said, this is going to be good. He's going to make it because this is what happens to us every time. Like I was hoping for a bounce off the upright or hit the crossbar. For a minute there, it started drifting right. And I thought maybe we'd get lucky and we'd just win the game and I was be happy. But then it just found a way, man. And when you're not a good team, you don't get those things happen to you. But man, that was probably, I mean, listen, if you're a Giant fan and you are because you're watching, you're listening, that was probably worse than the actual losing the game in overtime. I felt way worse after they kicked the field goal to tie the game from 64 yards away than I did after we lost the game, because I just felt like so defeated after that. I was happy we were in that position to win or lose a game on a field goal from 64 yards, because I mean, honestly, let's be real here. We didn't give them that. Okay, we didn't give them that. They just the guy just kicked us 64. Think about that, 64 yards. For God's sakes, 64 yards. I mean, what else do you want him to do? There's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. But overtime, different story. Overtime, we traded. The defense did their job in overtime. The first 2 possessions on Dallas, we did our job. They went out there and they caused a 3 and out. We got the football back, and you could talk about the interception all day long. Russ's interception, bad decision. Looked like maybe I'm not blaming Malik because he did so many great things. Maybe because I just watched it a million times. Maybe Malik ran the wrong route because he did an out and Russ threw the ball to the inside to the hash marks, and it looked like Malik was running to the sideline. He was running a post instead of a flag. No one said anything. I don't know. And Russ isn't the guy that's going to throw his teammate under the bus. That's for sure. You ain't going to hear that from Russ. He shouldered the blame all himself. But the play that really I thought was the one that cost us the game was that. And this is another thing. And when you're not a good team, these kind of things happen to you. When you're snake bit for years, these kind of things happen. When Russ threw the incomplete pass, but because it came out of its hand funky, it went backwards. It became a live football. And thankfully, Scatterbo pushed it out of bounds, or else Dallas would have had it right there. They still had to come down the field and score. But that, to me, was way more important, right? Because that ended that drive, essentially. It made it 3rd and 19. And we picked up, I think, 15 or 14 on 3rd down and couldn't get it done. Not close enough. Had to punt. Dallas got the football back, and we know what happened after that. I mean, but that throwing it out of bounds, accidentally throwing it out of bounds, was wild. That's the kind of stuff. That's up there with the 64-yard field goal, guys. I mean, that was crazy. Because that kind of stuff happens to you when your team sucks. It just seems exacerbated when those things happen, because how often do you see that? Like, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. At first, I was like, no way, that's incomplete. That was not a backwards pass. And then they showed it in super slow-mo. And sure enough, the ball goes backwards. Heads up. Great hustle by Scatterbo, chasing it down and playing to the whistle, knocking it out of bounds, keeping possession and giving us a chance. But to me, that I knew right there the game was over, because that's like when things like that happen, you ain't winning. It's not your day. And then the 46-yard field goal to win in overtime. I mean, Dak made plays. And you can say, again, you can talk all you want about us not finishing the game and winning the game. Hats off to the Dallas Cowboys, because they made plays when they had to, right? We made plays when we had to in regulation. I mean, how about that 4th quarter, guys? That's what I said. I sat here a week ago right now, and I said, you aren't going to get a better game than Baltimore and Buffalo on the Sunday night game. But I'm telling you what, right now, that Dallas Giants game was fantastic. That 4th quarter was ridiculous. The back and forth. Oh, wait, I think it was 3 or 4 touchdowns scored in the last couple of minutes of that game. That's wild. That was wild. And I was excited, man, because I wanted to compete. And you could roll the tape, roll it back, man. Roll back one of my reels from week 1, and I said, I didn't want this team to compete. So you want to know, why are you happy after a loss? You shouldn't be happy with that. Well, I kind of am, because they did what I asked them to do. They competed. They went out there and they gave themselves a chance to win the football game, and it just didn't work out because a guy can kick it from the stockyards in Fort Worth. Everybody should have that guy on their team. The Eagles got one. Dallas has one. There's a whole bunch of teams that have really good kickers. I mean, Robbie Gould, he can't kick it from 60, but Robbie Gould's a good kicker. We're lucky to have the kicker we got. But it is what it is. Our defense played well. I mean, were they tired? They were on the field for 85 plays. That was essentially 5 quarters of football. Were they a little bit tired? I'm not going to make excuses, but their legs looked tired on that last drive. They had Russ. They had Dak pinned in the backfield on that last play before the field goal to win the game. And then there was a little seam up the gut, and Dak took it. He ran away from pressure, ran up the gut for like 15 yards, 14 yards, or whatever it was, put him in better position to win the field goal. Because listen, once they got to like their own 47, 48-yard line, I knew the game was over. Because he was going to make another 60, 70-yard field goal, whatever it was going to be that time. This was going to happen. We lost the game. Dallas didn't win the game. We lost the game. I get that. It happens. It is. Coaching, I mean, much better this week. I can't pin, other than penalties, you can't really pin too much on Dable. I mean, the guys like him. They play for him. They play hard. No one's quitting. No one's giving up. I mean, Kafka better this week than he was against Washington. But hey, Bowen, bro, why are we playing soft? I mean, I get you don't want our backs, our defensive backs, to get burned by Lamb or Pickens in that situation at the end of the game to put them in the position to tie the game. I get it. You got to play off a little bit, bro. We're playing 15, 20 yards off them. I don't understand it. I mean, I'd like to hear an explanation for that, why we were playing off them so far, but I mean, it is what it is. Can't cry over spilled milk. I just don't understand it. I mean, I need to see a better effort against Kansas City this week. I got it on the defensive side of the football. I need to see a better effort. We need to play a little tighter coverage, right? Because, I mean, there's no Pickens and Lamb in Kansas City. I mean, I know they got Pacheco, and I know they got they don't have Rashee Rice because he's in jail or he's suspended. And they got Juju Smith-Schuster, I do believe they still have him. So they have decent receivers, but we're going to talk about that here now. But I mean, part of the rant I wanted to go on here halfway through the show or 3/4 of the way through the show was the fans, you guys need to chill. Just calm down. But I talked about that. I beat that dead horse. I beat that dead horse early in the show. But you guys just chill out, man. For God's sakes. I mean, it's week 2. They're 0-2. We thought they were going to be 0-2. No actual fan who watches this team and knows this team thought that we were going to be 1-1 or 2-0 going into week 3. Not 1. So stop. Stop acting like you know what you're talking about, because you don't. 0-2, like we thought we were, going into the Chiefs game. And listen, the way they played Sunday, they have a shot. I saw the New York Post, and this is ballsy. The New York Post, who obviously does not give a shit, the New York Post said, and I quote, "There is no way the Giants beat the Chiefs on Sunday. There is no way the NFL is allowing the Chiefs to go 0-3. End quote. That is the actual thing. You can look it up right now. It's crazy. There was a whole article written by the Post about how the Giants, there's no way they're winning. Not one. If Patrick Mahomes gets lost and doesn't show up to the stadium and doesn't play, we're still losing that game. There's no way they allow the Chiefs to go 0-3. Chiefs the Chiefs lost to Philly in a pretty good game. I mean, Philly, it was I listen, I watched the second half of that game in a local bar where I was getting something to eat. I went out after the Giant game. Just getting something to eat. It was kind of quiet. I mean, well, it wasn't quiet. It was just not a lot of people, just football people in there watching. Wanted to go get a burger or something and go watch the game on TV. And of course, I picked the only bar in Groton that was full of Eagles fans. And oh God, it was almost worse than being in Philly. But there was this guy in there, okay, with the jersey on, and he's got the shorts on, and he's got the the Eagles sneakers on, and he's got a replica Super Bowl ring on. I mean, he was every single play that did not go the Eagles' way. Something happened, and he saw something out of the corner of his eye in the brief second that they showed it on TV that the referees obviously missed, because here we go with the Chiefs, the refs in the Chiefs' pocket, because a call didn't go Philly's way. Every single time it got annoying. I think another Eagles fan told him to shut up too. And on his way out the door after the Eagles won, I was wearing this hat, and he had to make a little dig at me. Go Giants. Okay, buddy. Nobody asked you. Go Eagles. Okay, is that what you want me to say? Thanks for Saquon. Thanks for Saquon. Moron. Yeah, Chiefs got beat by them. That wasn't the Eagles aren't that good. I'm telling you right now. Right now, the Eagles are not playing very good ball. I said at the beginning of the show. Are they a good football team? Absolutely. At the end of the season, will they be there? Absolutely. They're the best team in the NFC East? Absolutely. Are they the best team in the NFC? Right now, they are not. That belongs to the Green Bay Packers, my friends. Prove me wrong. I know the Eagles are the champs until they're not, but 2024 is over. The Green Bay Packers are the best team in the NFC. And you could argue they're the best team in the NFL. They manhandled the Lions. They manhandled Washington, who, by the way, were both made deep runs into the playoffs last year. Green Bay is primed. Micah Parsons looked good on Thursday night. I sat there and I watched the game with my buddy who's a big Raiders fan, and we were just impressed with what Green Bay was doing. But the Chiefs, man, the Chiefs right now, they're in trouble because they had not shown me anything. I watched both of their games. San Diego handled them. It was a tight game early on, but Travis Kelce, and I'm sorry, Swifties, Travis Kelce looks old. Travis Kelce looks old. I mean, walking into the game with your loafers and your fancy shorts and your sport coat with your hair slicked back, but he's cooked. Taylor's got his hooks in him. But he is absolutely cooked. Now he's going to go out and, catch 10 balls for 147 yards and 3 touchdowns on Sunday because I said that. But right, you can't tell me that you are watching this guy saying the same thing I'm thinking right now. And don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on him because I like Travis Kelce. I think he's great. I think the Chiefs are great. I love Patrick Mahomes. I root for them in the Super Bowl every year. But they do not look like a good football team right now. I know they're missing Rashee Rice because he's suspended for 4 games. But a little bit on football. I think their defense was pretty good, but I also think it's a lot with Philly's offense not being able to figure it out right now. I mean, Jalen Hurts looks like a different guy. And hey, have you noticed so far? I mean, I hate to just keep picking on Philly, but I'm gonna. Have you noticed so far the only people complaining about the tush push are the Eagles? Ain't nobody talking about the tush push because it's overdone. It's buried. That dog is dead. The league said it's not gonna be banned. We're keeping the tush push. Stop talking about it. Everybody stopped talking about it except the Eagles. I don't give a crap. You don't like it, stop it. I do think that the league needs to make it fair on both sides of the ball. I don't think they should ban the tush push. I think they should allow the defensive players to do the same thing. But in the interest of player safety, we're not doing that. That's horseshit. Just my opinion. But the Eagles are the only ones crying about it. I see Doofus Sirianni, who's absolutely the most punchable face in sports, up on the podium saying we're gonna stop doing the tush push. Just kidding, no, we're not. What a loser! And you got guys who I can't remember the lineman. I'm gonna have to look it up. One of the Eagles' offensive linemen saying, "Oh, I'm tired of people yelling at us for the tush push." Shh. You're a good football team, dude. Stop whining. You're a really good football team. You're Super Bowl champions. Just go out and play football. Don't worry about what people are saying about you. I thought, what happened to nobody likes us and we don't care? What happened to that? Obviously, you care. Oh, Jordan Mailata. That's who it was. Jordan Mailata. The only reason they beat the Chiefs is because of tush push. No, the only reason they beat the Chiefs is because the Chiefs couldn't stop it. The Chiefs couldn't get off the field on third downs or fourth downs because the Eagles are really, really good at doing what they do. The Eagles are really good up front on both sides of the football. That's why the Eagles beat the Chiefs. Okay, let's not beat around the bush. Nobody said that. Maybe some Chiefs fans whined about it, but nobody said that. Chiefs fans are still salty because the Eagles kicked their teeth in the Super Bowl. But nobody cares about that. You lost because you're not good. That's why you lost. Not because of the tush push. It's because the Eagles are better than you. That's why you lost. They're not much better, but they're better. Anyway, Giants come in right now, 5.5-point underdogs at home. Home opener. Bring in the Swifties, baby. I'll be there. And of course, I'm bringing Brenda because she's a Swiftie, and I know she's going to want to hopefully catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift. I know she wants to see Patrick Mahomes. I know she wants to see Trav. Okay. I already told her she can't wear any Chiefs jerseys. She's going to wear her shirt that says "Go Taylor's boyfriend." We're not wearing Chiefs thing. I'm not bringing you to the game if you're wearing anything Chiefs. That's not happening. I will make you take that off. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to be doing some live spots for you guys. Going to be filming some content for you guys. We'll bring it back and we'll put together a little some. And I'm going to try to do that every week. Do some interviews. Maybe we'll grab a couple of Swifties on the way, ask them what they're doing, what the hell they're doing at MetLife Stadium. And maybe we could even, maybe I'll troll a couple of them and ask them, how do you feel about the tush push? Let's see what they say. That'll be fun. But yeah, hey, listen, the Giants are 5.5 points home dogs. And that actually, I'm actually surprised. It might go up by Sunday. Maybe it'll stay the same. Maybe it'll drop. I don't know. I mean, probably Andrew Thomas probably ain't playing. But Kelsey looks old. Mahomes keeps playing hero ball. Tries to do everything himself. I mean, you don't get much worse than that play, that the interception. It was right in the hands of Kelsey at the 1 yard line, and he fumbles the football into the air, right into the Eagles defender's hands. That was kind of crazy. That's the kind of shit that happens to us, not them. But maybe their time's over. Maybe the Chiefs dynasty is over. And maybe it's time for somebody else. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Maybe it's Josh Allen's time. Okay, if it ain't gonna be my Giants, I damn sure want it to be the Buffalo Bills. So there you go. Hey, give Scatterbo more touches, run the football, tighten up that pass defense, get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, force him out of the pocket, make him do his crazy shit, right? Because that's when things start going wrong, when he starts doing crazy things. He's not the same guy he used to be. Okay. He's got a couple kids now. He's put on a couple pounds. He doesn't run like he did. He tries to do those crazy things and he ends up turning the ball over. Like, put some pressure on these guys. Okay. This is a winnable game. The way that the Chiefs have been playing, this is a winnable game. And here's what I'll tell you. And I'm going to go ahead and right now, I'm going to say it. If the Giants can play the way they played Sunday, and the Chiefs play the way they played Sunday, Giants are winning this football game. I'm going on a limb right now. I'm calling Giants 27, Chiefs 26. We win by a field goal in the last second. Robbie Gould field goal from 46 yards away. Giants win the game 27-26. We come back here. We do a Victory Monday. We come back here on Wednesday. We're talking about a big win. And we're going to talk about all the fans who are not happy that we won the game. And that's just going to happen because I just said earlier in the show, people are just not happy in general. So Giants 27, Chiefs 26. We'll come back next week, next Wednesday at 6:30. Same bat time, same bat channel. And we will break down Giants Chiefs. We'll look ahead to week 4 when Mr. Khakis himself, Jim Harbaugh, and the the LA Superchargers come in with Justin Herbert, the boy wonder, who everyone thinks is the best quarterback in the league. I think is garbage. I don't think he's garbage, but I think that's a terrible assessment. He's pretty good, but I don't think he's done anything. We'll see. That'll be an interesting game. I think we got a better chance of winning against Kansas City than we do against San Diego. So we'll see. It's be an NFC West couple weeks here on Big Blue Confidential. But hey, listen, guys, I started a Instagram page. So go on Instagram, go to Big Blue Confidential. It's big_blue_confidential on Instagram. Follow us, like us. Same stuff that I'll be posting on Instagram. I'll be the same things I'll be posting. All my super corny and probably stupid takes that I put on Facebook will also be on Instagram. And then look for my TikTok. I plan on having my TikTok up and running before Sunday so I can create some awesome content. And I'm going to get some content for you guys and put a little something together ahead of next week's show. So, Giant fans, hang in there, man. Hang in there. It's coming. I promise you it's coming. Just be half full, man. Don't be half empty. Stay positive, man. Use that positivity. I think I posted something today. In the world of negativity, there's always something good. Find something good every single day. Because, like I said, the world is full of craziness and negativity. Find one thing every day that's good. Okay? And make that thing, just even if you make it about the New York Giants, find one thing every single day that's good about the New York Giants. Find one thing. My one thing today good about the New York Giants is that we don't have games today. We're not going to lose today. No, seriously, I'm excited about this game Sunday. I'm excited about seeing my peeps, my G fam, as we call them, my J18. So if you're at Giant Stadium Sunday, you want to come say hello, you want to jump on the pod, you want to get in the content, come see us at J18. Look for us. We got the inflatables, we got the flags, we got you'll hear the music, you'll hear us and see us. You'll hear us before you see us for sure. We're out there. We're laying it down on Sunday morning or Sunday. I'm sorry, Sunday afternoon, night game, Sunday night football, Ryan. So I'll be out there probably around 3:00. Gates open at 3:15, and we're going hand this week. Giants Chiefs, baby, let's go. Swifties are rolling into MetLife, into the swamp. Send them home packing. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to Big Blue Confidential. Again, I am Scott Fryer, your host. Please go like and follow us on our socials, and we will see you next time on another episode of Big Blue Confidential. Have a great one.